Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
Hey folks, welcome back to Trucking and Politics. The question I have is, will the DOT be shut down? And you may say, well, that is a dumb question. No, the DOT won't be shut down. Don't be so quick to answer it. Okay, I have listened to a lot of speeches by Vivek Ramaswamy. I have listened to Trump many times. And they are talking about shutting down the three-letter government agencies. One of those three-letter government agencies is the D.O.T, the Department of Transportation, which oversees the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, which oversees truck drivers. Okay, one of the things that Vivek Ramaswamy says is these three-letter government agencies are politically motivated. They take their orders from the deep state, from lobbyists, from stockholders, large corporations, political donors, people of this nature. So I have not heard Vivek Ramaswamy specifically say that he will shut down and restructure the DOT. But the DOT fits all of his criteria. All of it. I have stated on this channel before many times that the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration was built under a fake facade. It was built by Bill Clinton under the pretense that trucks were having more wrecks, becoming more dangerous on the roadways, and they needed more rules and regulation. And the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration did not fail. The rules have been coming non-stop since the Federal Motor Carrier started back in 2000. So, I'm quite sure Vivek Ramaswamy is going to have some position in Trump's cabinet. He's a firebrand. He gives these over-the-top speeches about what needs to happen, what's going to happen. We need to get America back on track. We need to be a country of laws and rules, which brings up my case against the DOT and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Unless you are not in trucking, unless you have blinders on and you are just not willing to look and see it, there's one rule that I want to read to you from the Federal Motor Carriers. It is section 391.11, subsection B, or section B, subsection 2, can read and speak the English language sufficiently to converse with the general public, to understand highway traffic signs and signals in the English language, to respond to official inquiries, and to make entries on reports and records. Okay, I was unloading earlier today in Laverne, Tennessee. It is a little small town south or east of Nashville, Tennessee. There was a Middle Eastern driver in the dock next to me. I did not speak to him. I did not have any conversation with him whatsoever. While he was getting unloaded next to me, another driver pulled up in front of me on the roadway in front of me. The docks were facing the road that you came in on. So I sat there. The guy got out of the truck. He looked normal. He looked American, I guess you could say. He looked like a regular male. I mean, not anything outstanding about him. He got out, walked inside of the building. He came back out, and he stood in front of the trucks pointing. He pointed at the guy next to me. He pointed at me. He was doing his finger like this and nodding and making movements with his mouth. I was inside the truck with the window rolled up. I could not hear him. I don't know if he was talking or not. So I got out. I got out of the truck and walked up to him. He was just mumbling. Apparently he knew that I was not going to be able to understand him. So he was mumbling, and he would say one English word, you. And I was like, okay, you. I was waiting for more, and he said, you, him. I didn't understand any of it. I just, you, him, and pointing, pointing fingers, you, him. And I just said, I don't understand. What do you need? What can I help you with? Truck. He pointed back, truck. Here. I mean, obviously could not speak English. Obviously. A few small words. I assumed he was saying that he was delivering there and was wanting to tell me. I really honestly don't know what he wanted. I honestly don't know what that conversation was about. Here's my question. If you, as an English speaking legal CDL holder, pulls across a D.O.T. scale with a blown tire, and the D.O.T. officer sees it and walks up and speaks in plain English to you, driver, you have a blown tire. You need to pull over. We're going to inspect your truck. More than likely, you're going to get wrote up for the blown tire. You may or may not get shut down. It's officer discretion, I guess. But more than likely, you will get your tire fixed there at the D.O.T. scale. Okay, let's put up another scenario. The truck driver that I tried to speak to today, he pulls up on the scale. The D.O.T. officer comes over the speaker and says, driver, pull around. We need to do an inspection on you and your truck. Does that driver understand any of that? Any of that whatsoever? Probably not. Probably his response would be, huh? Or just start flailing his hands around, speaking Arabic or something. Now, I am not trying to be xenophobic whenever I'm talking about this. I'm just talking about facts. I did not write this rule in the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. I didn't write it. I'm not enforcement. I can't enforce their rules, but I can call them out on it. Why are they able to write someone up for having a blown tire but they let a driver go that does not speak English. Both are violations of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Why is it this way? This is why Trump is so popular. This is why Vivek Ramaswamy is so popular, because they're calling out this hypocrisy. I have dealt with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration ever since I started driving a truck. They began at the same time I began, 24 years ago. I've dealt with them the entire career, my entire career. I have been wrote up. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's been dumb mistakes, but I have been shut down by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Actually, by the D.O.T. through Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration rules. What would happen? Another question. What would happen if a D.O.T. officer did decide to shut a truck driver down because he or she cannot speak English? I have met female truck drivers on the road that cannot speak English. Right now, I'm sitting right outside of Dallas, Texas. Okay? I was in Dallas, Texas several months ago, maybe a year ago, and I was trying to get a tire repaired, waiting in line, trying to get a tire repaired. A woman was beside of me, come up in a truck, leaking air. It had an obvious, audible air leak. She had 2 flat tires on her drives. She dropped the trailer, pulled up with the bobtail, and was pointing at her drive tires. She came back, waved at me, and hooked back up to her trailer and sat there. I obviously saw what she was doing. She was pointing to her drive tires, and they probably told her to come park and wait. I was trying to tell her that she had a flat on her trailer. And I was pointing, saying, "You have a flat on your trailer." "Yes, yes, flat." I was thinking in my mind, she's probably only thinking about these drive tires, right? So I tried to tell her, no, not your trailer. "Yes, yes, flat." Folks, it makes me furious. It makes me furious. Why is this being allowed? Why? Why is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration supposed to be protectors? It says safety in their name. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Their rules are in plain English, written down in the rule book. Is the D.O.T. enforcing these rules? One of the main thoroughfares across the United States is real close to my house. Interstate 40 and Interstate 30 through the state of Arkansas. The D.O.T. in the state of Arkansas is part of the state of Arkansas. Okay? Arkansas state weigh scales. Right? Where is Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Why is she not giving a direct order to these DOT enforcement officers and telling them, you see an illegal or a person that is breaking the law in the state, you enforce the law? This is not just a federal situation, it's also a state situation. The state police work the Arkansas DOT wage scales. Why are they not enforcing the laws? Folks, this is not just a small problem. This is a bottom to the top problem. My question is, will Trump fix this problem? My question is, will Vivek Ramaswamy fix the problem? Will he be in Trump's cabinet? I believe so. I believe he will hold a position somewhere. It would be nice to know that he was head of the DOT and brought it all the way down to a skeleton crew and built it all the way back up and said, these are the laws, these are the rules, this is what you enforce. Here's the question that just keeps getting longer, keeps going down the rabbit hole. What will you do with all the drivers out here that can't speak English? What will you do with all the trucking companies that allow this to happen? These people that are employed by these trucking companies, the trucking companies know they're breaking the law. They're not laws, they're rules. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration rules. But they're enforced by DOT officers. What is going to happen with everyone? Are trucking companies going to get shut down? Are CDL holders going to be put out of service? What happens to them if they get shut down and put out of service at the DOT scale because they can't speak English? What's going to happen to them? Someone from the trucking company is going to send an Uber to come pick them up and then send another driver out to pick up the truck that does speak English? This leaves a lot more unanswered questions. I would like to know what the plan is going to be. Or is it going to be they just completely look over it? Donald Trump gets to be president, he just looks completely over the DOT, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. You know, it's like the scene in Star Wars where the troopers, the stormtroopers were looking, you know, inspecting the vehicles coming in, and they play the Jedi mind trick on them and they say, nothing to see here, move along. Is that the way Trump is going to treat the DOT and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration? Is that the way they're going to treat 4 million truck drivers on the road that are operating legally? That would be a slap in the face to us. The thing that worries me about Trump, I like Trump. I like listening to him. I'm not a Trump hater. But here's the thing that worries me about Trump and the DOT and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. When he was president the first time, he met with the ATA. He met with the ATA, which is the anti-trucking administration. He did meet with them. That is that's like sitting down at the dinner table with the devil. Let's make a deal with the devil here. That worries me. That worries me about Trump. He should be out speaking to truck drivers that are following the law, not talking to another lobbyist firm. And that's what the ATA is. It's a lobbyist firm. And they know what's going on. The ATA knows what's going on. It worries me, folks. That's why I do this channel. That's why I put out these videos, because I'm concerned about trucking. I want it to go in the right direction instead of the wrong direction. If you would, put your comments down below and tell me what you think about this situation. I'm going to get off here, so everyone have a great day and be safe out there.